Hey guys, today we're going to continue our practice of factoring polynomials, specifically quadratics, quadratic equations that are written in standard form. You're going to notice that what we used yesterday to factor them is not going to work on this. So we're going to use another whole method. And again, a lot of what we're going to be doing today, it's not going to probably feel like, well, I don't understand why we're doing this. It will become very important later. So we're kind of learning some basic things that are going to come into play almost the rest of the year. So you're going to be dealing with a lot of quadratic equations from here on out the rest of the year. Okay, so let's get started. So first off, I want to point out this is what a quadratic equation looks like. And specifically, we're always going to have today only a is going to equal 1. All right, so we're going to work with that. It's going to be a little bit different tomorrow when a is going to be greater than 1. So if I was looking at this first equation that they showed us, then my a here is 1. My b here would be 5, and my c would be 6. Now I'm going to use these algebra tiles to just show you what this quadratic equation looks like, and it's also going to factor it at the same time. So x and x would make this x squared. And then we have plus 3 here. This is 3 x's. This is 2 x's here. And here's just 6 little ones by themselves. So this is kind of like saying x plus 3. And this is saying x sorry about that, x plus 2. And this is actually the factors of the original quadratic equation. Now, I want you to notice something here. I want you to notice that that the 3 times 2, which equals 6, also when added up is this middle number right here. All right, so we're going to be looking at things like that. We're going to notice how the factors of the one equal match up to the other. So let's go ahead and look at this first one. And we're going to use the guess and test method. And honestly, this is the only method I knew when I was in school. And so, which is pretty easy with what we're about to do. But as the numbers change, it gets harder. And so anyway, I just want to show it to you. So when you're guess and testing, you already know you're going to be creating 2 binomials when you're factoring out this quadratic. So you look at x. Well, let's see again. Let's not say x. A is 1, B is 6, C is 8. All right, and I'm going to ask myself first off, when I look at x squared, what times what would be this number 1 here? I'm going to ask myself, what times what equals 1? Well, there's only one choice, and that's 1. 1 and a 1. Now, it's 1 what? It's 1x. So really, I don't need the 1. I'm just going to go ahead and put it there again. This is going to become important later. Then I want to think, if I multiply a times c, which is a times c, which is the 1 times the 8, I will get 8. What are the factors of 8? Let's see. I don't know. The factors of 8. We've got 4 times 2 is 8. We have 8 times 1 is 8. And that's all I can think of. Now, do any of those numbers there, when I add them, equal b? Well, b is 6. 4 plus 2 is 6. So I'm going to take the 4. I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to take the 2, and I'm going to put it here. They're positive. So I'm going to put plus signs in here. And then this is my answer, x plus 4 and x plus 2. These are the factors of this equation. Now, I did forget to mention that before you even start this whole process, check to see if there's a greatest common factor. and I look at x squared plus 6x plus 8, there is not a greatest common factor in that. All right, let's move on. That's kind of the guess and test method. Now, we're gonna go ahead and look at bottoms up method. All right, so I didn't learn this until recently. It's a great method. When these numbers get harder, it makes this so much easier. So again, I'm going to go ahead and write out my equation, x squared plus 11x plus 18. I'm going to go ahead and tell myself what A is, what B is, and what C is. All right, then I'm going to ask myself, what times what is A? Well, I only have one choice, and that is 1. Whoops. I'm actually going to wait on this method. Okay, hold on. Don't worry. If you put your parentheses on your paper, you can still leave them there. All right. Let's go back to A times C. A is 1. C is 18. So A times C is 18. Now, if you look here, let's see. We're going to identify all the factors of 18. We're on step 2. 18. 1 times 18, 9 times 2, 6 times 3. Now, identify which two factors, step 3, add up to 11. And if I look, it's the 9 and the 2. All right, here is the new thing that we're going to do. It says divide each of the selected factors of 18 by whatever A is. What is A? Today, or for this quadratic, A is 1. So I'm going to take the 9, I'm going to take the 2, and I'm going to divide them both by A. That seems kind of dumb, and it is for when A is 1, it seems kind of pointless, but again, we're getting in the habit of when we get into the harder ones. Now, here's what bottoms up is. Bottoms up means I'm going to flip this up, flip this up. If the 1 is represented by x, this is x plus 9. And for this one, x plus 2. And these are the factors of x squared plus 11x plus 18. I promise this is going to get easier. It's really not as bad as it looks right now. Let's keep going. Let's do another one. I'm going to try to move a little bit faster. A is 1, B is a negative 10, C is 16. A times C is 1 times 16, which is 16. The factors, the GCF, I forgot, let's check. There is no GCF. Always want to check for that. All right. Let's see what we got here. We have 2 and 8. We have 4 and 4. We have 16 and 1. And honestly, as soon as you see two factors that add up to B, you can stop. And so I'm looking right here, and I see that an 8 and a 2 make 8 plus 2 is 10, but I have a negative 10. So let's see. Let me keep going with these factors. I know. I'm going to put a negative in front of the 2 and a negative in front of the 8. Is negative 2 times negative 8 equal positive 16? Yes, it does. So those are my factors right there. I had to be sneaky, and sometimes you're going to be sneaky too with those negatives. All right. So I'm going to write the factors out. And I'm going to divide both of them by A. And A is 1. Bottoms up. The 1 is represented by how many x's? So that means I have x, 1x minus the 2, and 1x minus the 8, and I'm done. Let's keep going. Next one. There is no GCF. F. Always want to check for that first. A is 1, B is 7, C is a negative 18. A times C is 1 times negative 18, which is a negative 18. So again, I'm going to go ahead and figure out the factors. Now, obviously there's going to be negatives in here, but I'm not going to write them down just yet. 18 and 1, 3 and 6. All right. I need to find 2 that when I multiply them together, or when I add them together, I'm going to get a 7, a positive 7. All right. I can see it right here. So which one of these needs to have a negative in front of it to get a positive 7? If I put a negative in front of the 2, I will get a positive 7. So there again, I'm having to be sneaky. So I'm going to write my 9. I'm going to write my negative 2. I'm going to divide both by A, and A is 1. 1, 1. Bottoms up, x plus 9, x minus 2. And again, any of these, you can work them out. You can do the box method and multiply both the binomials and check and see if you get the same answer. All right, I'm going to skip E for time, and let's look at the next one. Oh my gosh, there's a GCF. It's 2, 2, 2, 2. So I'm going to pull out the GCF for right now, and I have x squared minus 2x minus 15. And then you know what? I'm not going to look at this. I tend to look at it again. I don't want to look at it. I just want to look at the new one. Okay. A is 1. B is a negative 2. C is a negative 15. A times C is 1 times negative 15, which is a negative 15. Factor negative 15. Well, I can only think of 1 and 15 and 3 and 5. And if I look, what is B? B is a negative 2. So, let's look at these two. Which one needs to have a negative in front of it for them to add up to a negative 2? The 5 does. So I have a 3 and a negative 5. When added together, get negative 2. I'm going to divide both by A, which again just happens to be 1. And now I'm going to I'm going to do bottoms up. So I end up with x plus 3, x minus 5. I hope that's already starting to make a little bit more sense to you. So it will get easier. I promise. I'll talk to you later. Good luck. Ask questions if you need anything. See you later.